All right, everybody, welcome to episode number 7 of Into the Nether. I am really surprised we've made it this far. I didn't think I would last this long. But today, as you can see, we have a special host with us, the Zach Schultz, aka Kiggles. Kiggles, what's going on? What you been up to this week?
What, me?
Yeah.
Nothing. I had a cold. I've been sick for the past 2 weeks. It's gross. And then I had to carry your asses in raid last night. And
Well,
then
definitely not this guy. This guy was at work.
He wasn't raiding. Carried my ass.
Did you carry the Barrage
And
champion?
the general ass was carried.
Oh, and down below me at Huffity Puffity B, what is going on?
Apparently, I sucking at raid.
Oh, isn't that normal? You just barrage everything? Isn't that how it works?
I do barrage everything. I think I actually.
Yeah. She loves pulling stuff that is not necessary to pull.
I didn't pull anything last night. No.
Whoops. My barrage went off and I just pulled this whole room. Whoops. Excuse me. My name's B.
No, Zista pulled shit and tricked me. That's happened last
did?
night.
Oh, is that your excuse now? Is this the trickster?
No, he did trick me last night.
Chat room. Can you guys confirm or deny if B was barraging all the things last night and just pulling shit?
No, she actually was fine last night.
All right, guys. Well, today we've got this awesome segment to talk about. We're going to talk about the Kirin Tor, Jaina, and Khadgar. So
who are they? I don't know who they are.
they
haven't been a big part of this game at all. What are you
no,
talking
not
about?
at all. I mean, they're kind of obscure, out there characters that only show up like in little snippets. So I mean, let's
in little snippets such as whole expansions.
whole expansions. What are you talking about? You consider Warlords an expansion?
Okay, so it's an expansion like how a kitchenette is a kitchen. It's, you know.
Oh, Jesus. All right. So we've got the kitchenette killer, Khadgar. We've got Jaina, the leader of the Kirin Tor. And we got Kirin Tor, who house themselves in Dalaran. So I think there's a lot of good stuff to talk about here. So let's just dive right in and get into this. Okay, so the original Kirin Tor. B, do you want to go ahead and talk about the original Kirin Tor? Let us know what you think, what you like, what you don't like, what you dislike, what you hated, what you barraged.
What I barraged. I mean, I try to just. How much that I've read toward for the old Kirin Tor. I'm more into the more of the newer stuff and more of obviously Jaina and what she's been involved in than some of the things that they started out with. Obviously in Dalaran and when it was actually on the ground and not floating in the air. And so I don't know how much I can really go into that part.
Okay, so let's just throw it out there. The Kirin Tor started, they were just a group of mages. And if we've talked about in the past shows, the mages were taught by the Blood Elves way back in the day before they were Blood Elves. To win the first war.
When they were high elves.
When they were still high elves.
when they were still a part of Stupid Bitch. What's her name? I forget her name.
Stupid Bitch.
That she's supposedly in this next expansion, and that's been said.
Queen Ashara?
That's been said for the past 3 expansions. Oh yeah, Ashara's gonna be in this one. It's like the Emerald Dream. It's never coming.
She's gonna try and seduce you. That's why she's coming back.
That's before. I think that's before they really got into. That's before.
Well, I
but
mean,
it's still the arcane. That's when it all started. They were the ones that were more into the arcane magic.
And there was only 100 of them, so they weren't a large group of mages. There was just enough to help them win the first war. During, I think it was the War of the Ancients. Now we skip over, we jump into the second war, and you've got Khadgar. So Khadgar shows up pretty damn early on, especially, with the Last Guardian, and then Medivh is the Last Guardian, and his mama kind of screwed him over, and Sargeras is hanging out inside of him. And, you got Khadgar just chilling and wants to be an apprentice. Well, Medivh's like, hey, bitch, go clean my library. Like, really? That's how you choose your apprentice?
Well,
I mean,
he didn't seem like he was very like at first he wasn't really interested in. He didn't want an apprentice. Really, I think Khadgar was kind of pushed on him a little bit. So he was just like, fine, I will do this, but he can go get my coffee.
so what you're saying is Khadgar for a while was a glorified secretary?
Pretty much.
I don't know, Zach. What do you think?
What do I think? Well, just in general, the Kirin Tor have a really bad, they have a really bad track record. If you just look at the cursory history, really terrible track record of picking people. Just like, okay, let's give it to, who's the most powerful? Yeah, let's just let, Medivh. Oh yeah, nothing could go wrong with Medivh. Yeah, no, never. No, he's totally good. And then what happened? One of them, then they had blood elves in there, and the blood elves have come and gone and come and gone and come and gone, and some of them have defected. And then Kirin Tor, they're like today's American Congress. They're just completely useless. Completely useless.
Oh, so we
Power
got kitchenettes,
corrupts
American
absolutely.
Congress,
It does
and
that-
useless.
Power corrupts absolutely.
So yeah, now we have to take into account that Medivh was selected by his mother. I think it's Aegwynn, she was the guardian before Medivh, and she went and slept with some decently powered mage, seduced him, and then she was like, "Hey man, go tell your friends you slept with me, but you gave me what I wanted, so thanks."
Nepotism always works. Just in the history of in this world, and our actual world, nepotism always works. Yeah.
So what she didn't know is when she killed the Avatar Sargeras, when she thought she was a really uber badass, she did exactly what Sargeras wanted her to do. It unleashed his spirit. He jumped into her and just waited and bought his time so he could conquer the world. And now we go into the Second War. Medivh's in Karazhan, in the tower, in this fucked up place that shows visions and different things.
My favorite raid ever.
Magic.
Timelines. Yes,
Yeah.
it's an amazing raid. And Khadgar is just cleaning, and then Medivh just
With
shows
his magical brooms. Is this like Blizzard's version of what is that? What's the
Fantasia.
Disney? Yeah.
Fantasia.
Is he playing the role of Wizard Mickey?
He might be.
Slightly
then
more deranged.
Medivh shows back up at the tower after, he's like letting him stay around, and Khadgar's learning about the tower. Medivh shows up and he's like, "Hey, we gotta go somewhere." And Medivh first attacked him because he forgot who the hell he was and why he was there. Now, my point of view on when Medivh attacked Khadgar at that point, when he returned to Karazhan, I think that was partially because Sargeras was in control of him, and it took a lot of restraint for Medivh to fight back and take control of himself, because it does state later that Medivh was placing people around him to end the threat because he knew what he was doing deep down and he couldn't stop it.
Well, Khadgar actually also walked in on him having some demon episode.
Oh, yes, he did.
Well, that was really dirty. What kind of?
I know. She made that sound like Khadgar walked in while he was having sex with a demon.
Thing? What's going on here? Did I just date myself with the Red Shoe Diaries?
No, it's okay, Zach. I'm there. So, now you've got Khadgar, and Medivh's like, "Hey man, sorry, I didn't mean to try to kill you or anything. No big deal, right?" So he's like, "Well, hey, we got to fly here, and we got to go report this message, and we got to take care of this stuff." And he was like, "Well," Khadgar goes, "I don't know how to ride a griffin. Like, how the hell do you live in Azeroth, and no matter who you are, I don't care if you lived in Dalaran, training under the Kirin Tor mages, learning how to be what would become an uber badass mage, but..."
Because they can teleport mages. Don't they just teleport everywhere?
Well, is that what they do? You don't ever learn how to ride a
a
griffin? The last Guardian rides a griffin, and he's the most powerful mage in the world. At the time, Medivh is the man.
Okay, does everyone know how to ride a horse? I mean, I guess it just could be maybe he's afraid of heights. I don't know. I mean, just decides I don't know how to fly. What do you want from me?
Well, so Medivh's solution is like, "Hey, I'm gonna put my thumb on your forehead and force all this damn knowledge in there." You know how painful that's got to be? Like, here, Learn how to ride a griffin in 3 seconds.
So it's like some Matrix bullshit.
Yeah, it's like some Matrix bullshit. Yes, exactly, Zach.
He's been plugged into the Matrix.
Oh man, so they start to fly on their mission.
Medivh ain't got time for this bullshit.
Yeah, apparently Medivh's like, oh,
got things to do.
Get shit done.
Yeah, he's got to go have some episodes.
Apparently he's got to have those episodes.
Fuck teaching you how to do this. Fucking do it.
Was the major?
I mean, it's
Taylor,
the most efficient way.
We don't know, Moose. I don't think Khadgar's a tailor. They've never mentioned it in any of the lore. So now Khadgar knows how to ride a fucking griffin, guys. Like, boom, I can ride a griffin. I'm the man. Well, he's not still as experienced as Medivh. He gets shot down by a bunch of orcs who had now come through the portal because Medivh at this point had opened the portal.
Dun,
dun, dun, dun. So Medivh opens the portal. They're doing something. They get shot down. Khadgar finds all these orcs, and he tries to scare them away. Like, I'm Khadgar. I'm going to use my magic tricks to scare you. Yeah, Medivh comes down, saves his ass, right? I mean, I find it funny, and I don't know how you guys felt about this part, but I find it really funny that as powerful as Khadgar is and was becoming as he trained under Medivh every day, that he couldn't fight off a couple orcs, that he tried to scare them off, and then he had no power left to fight them. Like, what the hell?
How many is a couple?
We don't know. Yeah, one exactly. We don't know how many.
And
Two,
these are orcs that are under their
the demon
bloodlust.
Possessed. Yeah. So they're pretty strong.
But then Medivh rolls in and goes, boom, you're dead, and then kills one of them, and they all run away. Like, that just doesn't make any sense, that Khadgar...
Well, I mean, how far, we don't know how far he was in his studies, and think, okay, so, if you, any other, RPG, whatever, magic stuff, okay, so when you first learn magic, you don't always do it right. Sometimes you blow shit up, like yourself. So, he wasn't completely assured of himself at the time, and he just kind of fucked it up. He tripped on himself.
So here's the other thing.
Himself.
Now, at the time, Medivh was a double agent, yes?
Yes, he was.
And he was still doing that role rather well. So maybe he sent Khadgar in there on purpose so that he could save him and, make it look like he saved Khadgar from actually dying, but in reality it was just deception from Sargeras,
continuing to prove that he's actually a good guy, right? And he's not.
Yeah,
just
but
to keep his cover some more.
I don't think we can go that route, because in the storyline it explains that the orcs shot arrows up. He wasn't supposed to get shot down because Medivh clearly avoided it, and it says the griffin got struck, not Khadgar. He fell, and he just fell into the band of orcs that were there. And then Medivh had to actually search for him to find him to save his ass. Medivh only took him as his apprentice because he was not corrupted by Karazhan. He was able to see, the timelines and the different visions. And then it turned around, and he after this, once he got down there and he tried to fight the orcs, that's when Medivh was like, "Yo, you're my apprentice now. I like you. You're cool." I mean, I don't know what they said back then. Ye are a great apprentice.
You just got shot down. You're cool. Okay.
Sup, bro? Fist bump. Are you a jewel crafter? Can you make me a ring?
That's how he makes our legendary rings. He's a jewel crafter.
He's a jewel crafter, as Jake pointed out in chat. He's obviously a jewel crafter because he makes rings for us, and almost kills us every fucking time he does it.
See, I told you he hasn't got all of his magic together.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump forward. That's how Khadgar became Medivh's apprentice, and that's where he was trained. He was trained by Medivh, and that's why he's uber powerful. But in the end, Sargeras took over, and he lit Lothar on fire. He made Khadgar old as hell, and he tried to destroy Garona's mind, half-orcan, tried to destroy her mind through the visions that occurred. But Khadgar fought through it, stabbed Medivh. Lothar came in, chopped the head off. That way Sargeras couldn't take over, yada, yada, yada. So now he goes back to the Kirin Tor. This is where it really begins. He goes back to the Kirin Tor and starts working with them and training more under them, but he's still kind of doing his own thing at this point. So B.
And where does Sargeras' spirit go? Do we know this?
No.
Because
into the Twisted Nether.
Yeah, it's gone at that point. It's just destroyed.
Right.
Not destroyed, but
it can't
He can't die.
he couldn't
No,
jump.
I mean I know he can't die, but I mean he couldn't jump from,
not according to the lore, he couldn't
another?
jump.
Well, we don't know. Well, since we have our own little conspiracy theory going on.
My
over
conspiracy theory is Khadgar is fucking burning Legion, and he's trying to kill us all.
He's fucking them.
He might be
I don't
every time he
think
returns
is.
to Twisted Nether.
I really don't. I mean, I get that assumption, and I get if he was actually infected by Sargeras' spirit, then how that would be. But I just feel like I don't know.
Now, I find it funny, I see your point of view, Zach, but recently, I don't know if it's new, but it's new to me. I found some tidbits out there. People are speculating that Khadgar, because he has Atiesh, which was Medivh's staff, that
Right.
Khadgar is just Medivh, just chilling and hiding. Because Medivh was resurrected by his mother. I don't know how you guys feel about that theory, but it is out there, and it does have a little bit
His
of
mother
validity.
really loved her son really that a lot. That's
Oh,
just
yeah.
it's a little Oedipal bullshit going on right there that I don't want to get into.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
So,
Right.
I mean,
It's a magic banging his mother. Here, do you like my big staff, Mom?
oh my
What the
god.
fuck?
Wow.
You've thought about that way too much.
You guys thought mine was bad.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
So,
faces. He went there.
if this theory is true, it kind of would flow very well if Khadgar was really Medivh, because Khadgar no longer looks like he did after Medivh made him super ancient. He aged him a whole bunch during that fight. Now we get Khadgar, and it could be due to the new character model, but we get Khadgar, and he looks a hell of a lot different than he did in the comics and any other point in World of Warcraft that we've seen him. Like we saw him when we went to Burning Crusade, and he was standing in, what's the city? The main city for BC that we went to.
Chef.
Yeah, in Shatrath, where he was the glorified, let me show you around the city. I'm going to give you a tour.
His that was his companion did it. He didn't do it.
Regardless, but you talked to him, and he explained what happened
yeah.
between the Second War and BC and what they were doing there. He doesn't know what happened to Terrellion or Illyria Windrunner. And he kind of explains, what happened in between what they did while they were stuck because they sealed the portal and then they hid in the rift to save themselves. So Khadgar still played an important role in between the expansions because he's the whole reason we didn't get invaded for the second time.
I gotta say something, because in Burning Crusade he's very all well put together and stuff. Now in Warlords, as powerful he is and as smart as he is, he's kind of derpy. He has a lot of little derpy moments where he just kind of.
Can you clarify derpy? Like, what do you mean derpy moments?
Like when he's making the ring and things are exploding and he like.
But that's not and he's also facing a warlock of maybe equal power as him. Well, the greatest orc warlock that ever lived, correct?
Well, yes. Oh, by far, he is. Nobody touches Gul'dan, not even Narzul.
Yeah.
But I don't mean like.
What happened to Zach's picture?
Uh-oh.
The Zach Schultz is gone.
Sorry.
It's okay, bro.
Do you like my picture?
I do. It's a lovely picture.
See, I know. I'm lovely.
So
His camera broke.
it's okay. We'll just keep going. Fuck it. He can still talk to us, and he's back. Loading. Okay, so Gul'dan, I don't think there's anybody as powerful as. Now, my big question about this is the Gul'dan we saw from the different timeline. Is he more powerful than our Gul'dan was?
I don't know. I think he's about the same. He doesn't have what?
Your camera was so frozen.
Oh, is it? Sorry.
No, you're good now.
He doesn't have the same numbers that he did because
he doesn't have...
because the actual drinking of Manoros blood in large quantities did not happen. But his personal power, yeah, I'm sure he has just the same amount of power as he did in Burning Crusade or in pre-BC.
He still did everything along the lines of what was happened in the previous timeline. Nothing is different personally. Just everything around him went different.
Okay, so since we're kind of skipping around, which is perfectly fine, I don't mind because we're focusing on Khadgar right now. So with Khadgar, he's basically going to, from the cinematic trailer we got, it looks like he's going to be the one that leads us to Sargeras' tomb in the Broken Isles, which Gul'dan is going to go into. Now, is Gul'dan going to suffer the same death, or is Khadgar going to try to kill him there? We know we're going to end up fighting Gul'dan in the second tier raid.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So he's dead.
Well, yeah, but the question is
we'll kill him eventually.
Yeah, does it go, or do we actually kill him, or does it go into the timeline of where, originally in his death, he was torn apart by demons on the island. So either way, he's dying on the same island.
Yeah. Now here's my question about it, though, is he's drinking so much blood and he works for the Burning Legion. Is he really dead in our timeline? Because when Khadgar picked up the skull to close the portal during the Second War, Gul'dan said, you've got a lot of potential, hey, why don't you become my apprentice and I'll show you what killing in true power is. Gul'dan was still whispering to him from the grave, so to me, I'm almost at the point where I believe Gul'dan, might have consumed so much demon blood that he might be to the point a demon, and he's just floating around in the twisted nether.
Well, if you think about who's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
That guy right there.
That guy. This one. He didn't die. He actually didn't die. You actually didn't kill him in the raid, but you didn't kill Gul'dan either. So I don't know, maybe.
Well, no, you're right.
Look at Ner'zhul, who was technically dead. He talked you through the Frostmoor. So and all of that stuff. So it's possible. It's like no one dies. Again, it's a soap opera. No one dies.
Well, Garrosh isn't coming back. We know that.
Well, yes,
Thrall made sure he got ended for real.
As far as we know.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to try to resurrect Garrosh after he killed one of the dragons. What is it, Khor'sdamu?
He did a lot of shitty shit.
He killed Khor'sdamu in this expansion? Like, straight up at the beginning of the expansion, he killed him because he didn't want to fucking follow his plan?
Yeah.
Well,
he did a lot of things.
Okay, so...
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the stupidest dragonflight. Don't get me started. I don't want to talk about the bronze dragonflight. I don't even want to hear the goddamn bronze dragonflight leader's name because he's the worst aspect in the history of aspects.
Oh man.
Because he can see the future, but yeah, whatever.
But he can't do anything about it. Yeah, okay, that's great. Thanks.
Did we have this conversation? I think
we did have this conversation, and it's really annoying.
I've made my feelings known about Nozdormu.
I think 2 episodes we talked about this too.
2 episodes we
talked about Nozdormu, just like we have the same opinion you do. It's really fucking dumb. You know what's going to happen. I don't give a fuck if you're trying to protect the timelines or not.
No, he doesn't know what's going to happen because the timelines are cloudy. so much sand. It's so sandy.
I brought in the doctor.
I can't see.
And even though he knows it's like a fixed situation, and so he can't mess with it.
No, fuck that. You can save a lot more fucking people than you would let die by changing the timeline. I'm sorry. That's absolutely not an acceptable excuse for the Bronze Dragonflight. Here's the thing. Is that
dragons were given the power, and they weren't really. They were just supposed to be, guardians. But as we saw, the ones that actually tried to insert themselves into the equation instead of, being the dragon overlords, they got fucked in the butt. I mean, look, you got the leaders of Black Dragonflight get fucked. Blue Dragonflight went crazy, get fucked. The Earth Warder get mega fucked.
Well, it's because they keep getting
but
going
Deathwing,
crazy.
I
They go
wouldn't
crazy,
say he
and
got
it's like-
mega fucked. Deathwing did that shit to himself. He was corrupted, but he also at the same time knew what he was doing, and he tried multiple times to take over Azeroth.
Well, it's power. He was,
And that's what it is. He lusted over power.
And Malagos again. Also, he went crazy. It was years of him being, magic and stuff going on, and power corrupting him, and he was just slowly going mad.
And you actually do fight. You do fight Nizdormu. He went crazy too.
Oh yes, he did.
Yeah, in future
he will, and he will go crazy.
Yeah,
he did crazy, and he will go crazy, and he is going crazy.
We just
so
basically,
all these dragons, what the fuck are they around for? Just so we can fight them?
They go mad.
Alexstrasza hasn't gone crazy, and neither has Ysera. Now,
so the females know when shit's going on, and all the guys go.
Well, I don't think Ysera was sleeping for a long time, but I don't think she'll ever go crazy because she was always the tough-minded one, even during the dawning of the aspects. They explained that, she was smaller than the rest of them. But she, man, was fierce when she went into battle with I can't think of the big dragon's name at the end, but she didn't care. Like, you were fucking with her sister, and now it was game on. And then Alexstrasza is just a lightbender. She loves everything equally, I guess.
She's a heart.
She's a heart. She's a heart.
She's a heart.
So I think those are going to be the two that never go crazy. I mean, I just don't see them
I don't
turning.
know. I wouldn't.
But they don't have the powers of the aspect
know,
anymore either. Or I mean, you still got Kalikos around, Ysera, Nozdormu, and Alexstrasza.
See, Kaligos he's got a good head on his shoulders, and obviously he's kept Jaina from going.
Well,
well, more or less, she's still kind of gone a little.
I don't think she's gone crazy, guys. I really don't.
She's got an okay. She can't. Okay. So
she can't get past. What is it?
Hold on.
No,
Before we go, let's not talk about Jaina yet. Stop.
Because actually,
no more Jaina. Wait, we will get to Jaina.
Okay,
let's finish Khadgar up, and we will transition to Jaina. I don't want to ruin it because I've got thoughts about Jaina. So Khadgar, we really don't see him from BC until now. Now, in the cinematic for the new expansion, Khadgar turns into a raven and starts flying off.
Okay, pause. Just because you don't see him does not mean that he's not around.
100% agree
unless
with
you. Unless they explicitly state that he is dead, or that he has, turned evil, then just because he's not a part of the main storyline does not mean that he's not doing something else. Like, that's what people fail to understand, is that this is only one specific storyline that you as the hero are inserted into,
yes.
The main storyline. And while he may come in and go out, it does not mean that Khadgar has gone. Like, people are always like, oh my god, where did this person come from? Where did that person come from? And like me, probably haven't read the associated texts, like the canon books and whatever, the pre-expansion and post that explain a lot of this stuff. So they're just like, oh, where did he come from? Oh, he must be in disguise. But that's not necessarily the case.
Now,
so this is why I hesitate on saying that Khadgar isn't coming from an authentic place.
No, and he's always been around in the background. He is still doing stuff with the Kirin Tor. He's on the Council of Six, and he's the one who recommends the Jaina. And Ronan already wanted it because it was prophesized that Jaina was bound to be a leader. And Khadgar is the one who recommended in the Throne of Tides that Jaina take Ronan's place after, or was it Throne of? Yeah. But he recommended that Jaina become the leader of the Kirin Tor.
Because Ronan was thinking about stepping away.
Well, that was after Ronan was dead. So it wasn't Throne of Tides. It was... Which book was it? It was the Garrosh book where... No, it was Throne of Tides where Garrosh went in and blew up the fucking Theramore.
Well, yeah, but he was thinking about stepping aside.
Yes, he was, because he
It
wanted
was
to be with his wife.
Yes.
So you've got Khadgar in the big change. Like, there's a super uber change in Khadgar in the past. In Khadgar, we got in this last kitchenette.
Thrown into Tides is the dungeon. Yeah. It's Tides of War.
Tides of War. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, Thrones of Tide is... you're right. Anyways, it doesn't matter. You all know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I'm the host, so I'm going to call it Thrones of Tides for the rest of the book. The rest
Thrones
of the
of Tides
show.
of War.
Now it's on a podcast. It's a book
It's on
now.
a podcast. It's whatever the hell I want to call it.
Thrones of Tides of War of the Ancients.
That'll work. That'll work. I like that title.
You got the potatoes.
So, what did you guys think in the change in his behavior? Because before he was more reserved, he was very calculated. He's very smart. We already know that. And now he's I'm going to catch Gul'dan and I'm going to kill this son of a bitch. He's very adamant about that, and he's playing with, just like you said, you know, he almost kills us several times, making our legendary ring, and it's due to the fact that he's playing with magic from Draenor that he's never dealt with before, and he just read, you know, the text over, and he's basically playing with it.
He's super goofy. That's what I meant by derp, but you guys were like, what?
So what do I think? I mean, he has a lot of help from the shamans. I mean, you're not just, I mean, yes, Khadgar is a big part of it, but it's also the shamans from the Frostwolf, and I'm sure Khadgar has learned stuff from them, and I'm assuming that he's talked to the giant elementals that are ruling the throne of elementals, so it's not like he's... Basically, you've explored all this land, and I don't think that this is unknown magic to him. I don't think this is like him playing with evil magic, like Gul'dan's shit.
More like magic. He's not magic.
Yeah.
It's like magic.
I mean, well, he actually does fuck with Gul'dan stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean,
he's fucking with Gul'dan stuff to get to Gul'dan.
What was the question? I don't.
I wanted to know what you guys think of the change in behavior, because there is a drastic change in behavior from the reserved Khadgar that we've got every time we've met him in the game. And even in the books, he's still reserved. He's never been all out, let me go kill somebody. He's been, let's calculate this, let's figure this out. The only person he ever killed, really, and went straight after was when he figured out what was going on with Medivh.
Well, there's your thing. He figured out what was going on with Medivh, and he made a decision, and then he went after him. So, I mean, this isn't outside of his character. Yeah, maybe he's reserved, but when he makes a decision, he goes for it. I mean, I guess that's his modus operandi, if I'm going to use a Latin phrase.
That's fine. You can use that when I like it.
So, I don't think this is totally out of his wheelhouse, and maybe he's doing, I mean... Doesn't it say that he's like Jaina? Because you see Jaina at his tower in Draenor, and she says something about the Kirin Tor not liking that he was working with
these new magics or different
the
magics.
With the Horde. No,
Yeah.
he would he wasn't like working with the Horde.
100% anti-Horde. So.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
but that's because she's Jaina and she's...
Just to
She's been
clarify,
pushed.
chat room, if
let's
you
go
don't
with
know what
the-
modus operandi means, it means method of operations. It's how he works.
But
Exactly,
I don't
too
think it's
smart for
anything
some
outside.
people.
I don't think it's anything outside of his. I don't think it's anything outside of his normal, his normal operating procedure.
Okay, B, what do you think?
Well, see, I agree in that much, but when I was saying I called him derp, what I mean is, before he was very, very serious. Like you said, he's very, like you said, reserved, very serious. Right now his personality is he's very joking and very goofy at times, where it's like, oops.
Well, I guess to me, I don't relate it to goofy, and maybe I'm thinking along the same lines as you, but he's very cocky. He's very cocky.
Yeah.
Like when the assassin tries to kill him, he's like, oh, pff, I'll throw up my ice block. I had this all along, no big deal. Ha ha ha. You know, like he's very cocky throughout the entire storyline.
He does make some. Oh yeah, well, he makes jokes when he does that. So he's like, ah.
But then he almost gets his ass killed. I mean, and we have to chase Corona half-orking down.
Oh my
So.
god.
All right. So that's
That was a
Khadgar.
wonderful quest.
It's
Stupid.
Oh yeah, getting slowed every 3 seconds. Fuck
Let's
you.
follow these green puddles. Yay!
I was on her ass that entire time.
I can smell her because she's leaving farts everywhere.
So I mean, that's the evolution in a nutshell. It's not. We didn't go in a lot of detail, guys. I know, but you know, that's Khadgar, and he's had a lot of appearances, and he's been a major player, even in the background. He's been a major player throughout every expansion, you know, especially that he's a part of the Kirin Tor, and he shaped the Kirin Tor into what it is now. Jaina, let's talk about Jaina Proudmoore, who's had so many things go on, and she's always been a major player in the Alliance. And
Well,
you
she
were
was
bringing up
neutral.
earlier, you know,
Very neutral for a long
she
time.
was very neutral, but you
What's
made
the
a
saying?
comment.
What's the saying
Okay,
about a
so-
woman scorned?
Here,
Oh,
well, so here's the
oh,
thing:
shit.
is you said that she actually was ready to forgive the Horde for Theramore. She was ready to forgive them. If you've done it's the end of Draenor, you're doing the quest chain Shield Wall, and on the Alliance side, she's talking to Anduin, and she says that she's ready to forgive the Horde for what happened, and for Dalaran to be a symbol, to be that Horde and Alliance working together in one city, and you know, being that last hope for everyone to peace. So she's ready to put away her anger, and she says, you know, she's like, as much as I hate Garrosh and how much my anger is, I want to set it aside and fix this. And then shit hits the fan again, and Garrosh goes in and does sticky shit, and it's all over the bell. And then she gets suspicious, and this stuff goes on in Dalaran, and then she goes and kills all of the Sun Reavers.
I like that storyline.
I thought it was a good storyline.
It was really great.
It really was.
Now, your comment about that earlier, B, was you said she went crazy. I, not for 1 minute, will say she went crazy. I think she's reacting appropriately to some really bad things that happen in her life. And the only thing you can do, if you look at that time period, like, you know, just base it in the time period of Azeroth, she's reacting appropriately, and she asked the Alliance to go to war with her, and they didn't offer to help after Theramore happened. So she took justice into her own hands and said, fine, fuck you, I'm going to wipe out everybody who's wronged me, and that is a threat to us.
See, that's the problem, is she didn't actually ask Varian. She didn't ask Varian. She went ahead and did it. And
Oh,
Varian
no,
Varian
Dalaran,
asked-
yes. In Dalaran, she did that on her own accord, and I don't blame her one bit, because they absolutely and utterly betrayed her.
That's totally
Fuck
her
Varian,
purview.
and
She
I tried to bring him
she
in.
was
I had
the
him.
leader.
But
But she
come
was the
on.
leader of the Kirin Tor at that point. She could do whatever the fuck she
Well,
wants.
yeah.
She
but
doesn't
Varian
answer to
was-
anybody. Fuck Varian. He's a bitch. He's always
And
been
even-
a bitch. He's not.
And even
he-
though,
Sorry, Zach.
even though she maybe it was a little extreme, but she caught people who they had reaccepted into the Kirin Tor that were double crossing the Kirin Tor.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe she may have gone temporarily insane, like blinded by anger.
It was blinded by anger.
and
yeah.
just
When I
and
said
just
crazy, it was the wrong word.
and just furiously expelled or killed
She killed.
all of
It's-
the people. Right. Yes.
But do you have a
And
problem
know
with her
what?
doing
they
that?
Kinda,
No,
they
but-
kind of deserved it.
Well,
I
come
mean,
on.
yes, we.
But you're
know- we
condemning
know
all
that-
of them. You're condemning them, all of them, for a selected few. That's
For a
wrong.
selected few,
okay,
but the lead
after
dude is the one who
Theramore-
chose to
after
do it.
Theramore,
He betrayed him at Theramore. That's where it started. It didn't just
No, I
start.
understand. Well, no, I know. I understand Theramore, and I understand all of that stuff. But again, you're doing the same thing that's happened time and time again, which obviously Varian understands, and Varian had his own problems. He condemned all of the Horde for only I didn't say a selected few. It was quite a bit of few, but you can't continue the same line of anger to condemn everyone for a few.
Mom
But
says
here's
we
the
have
thing.
to take turns, guys.
Okay. Here's the thing. there's still secrecy between the two factions. So this shit is gonna go on unless there's transparency. They're gonna hold their own secrets because that's basically what's been going on. Yeah, they were working together, but they were never really working as one. They were always working as two different factions towards the same goal. And then once the same, and this has gone on in Pandaria, before Pandaria, you know, they work together. They work, right. They work since the bloodlust has worn off. They've worked together when they can, but they've always been sort of secretive and not, you know, I would equate this to how the U.S. and Russia were. No, really, if you think about it, post USSR, that's how Russia and the U.S. have always seen each other. Like they're allies when it's necessary, but they're not really close. And so who are you going to trust? Are you going to trust if you're a horde, are you going to trust, you know, it might be different for the Sun Reavers because they were, you know, they're kind of like, I don't know how to put it. They're kind of independent from, but they're still Blood Elves and they're still a part of the horde.
Well, but the Blood Elves faction has kind of been in question forever. I mean, they originally were Alliance. They are all originally Alliance. I mean, obviously that was before they became Blood Elves. They were still High Elves at the time. But, you know, through prejudice, they kind of pulled away from the Alliance, and then they out of necessity, they had to join up with the Horde, and through Sylvanas, they joined the Horde. But they're going through the same, during MoP, they're going through the same situation. Again, you're dealing with, you know, Garrosh and his horde and them, whatever, and the prejudice and stuff. So again, the elves are pulling away because they need to. And then so Varian is coming in and trying to pull them back into the alliance.
Yeah, but that's to keep with Zach's, you know, congressional and all these political themes. We're going to say the Sun Reavers are the Mitt Romneys of World of Warcraft. They're flippity floppity. Yeah. You know, look at, they were horde, or they were themselves. They were part of the, you know, the dark Blood Elves. They were, before they were Blood Elves, the High Elves were all part of one thing with Malfurion and Tyrande. And then they left, and then they joined the Horde. And then they came back, and Malfurion and Tyrande accepted them in. And then they got pissy and left again because, well, we can't practice our magic right away, and you weren't moving at our pace, and there was all the killing by Maeve.
They're different, but the High Elves.
But the other thing was, is that this whole Jaina getting pissed off is she didn't have complete information. The whole thing is Garrosh was holding the entire horde hostage. They were all ready. They were all ready to overthrow him. Yeah. But they couldn't because they couldn't get their shit together, or he had too much power.
But the Sun Reavers chose Garrosh's side. It's not like Bane. Bane Bloodhoof warned her about the impending attack on Theramore. He gave her that heads up to, you know, so she could ready her defenses. The Sun Reavers completely and utterly chose Garrosh's side when they screwed over Theramore. No, that was their leader, and you have to, it doesn't just work where you don't know what's going on. There's a bunch of Sun Reavers running around the Kirin Tor. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were getting into. They knew what side they chose because it would have come out on the wash. If any of them felt like, well, we owe our allegiance to the Kirin Tor, they would have straight up gone and ratted on them. There's enough. Yeah. I mean, look at when Khadgar got to stop Narzul in the Second War, he got the book from one of the orcs that didn't agree with what Gul'dan was doing. There's always somebody in the faction that'll double-cross them if they don't agree. And it didn't happen with the Sun Reavers, which to me tells me all they cared about was their magic and their lust for that magic. Sorry.
Well, that's the history, and that's the history of the Blood Elves. That's why they're Blood Elves, because they wanted more and more magic, and they became dependents. They became dependent on magic.
Well, yeah, that is exactly what happened. I mean,
that's exactly what happened.
No, and I understand that, but the Sun Reavers, they're flippity floppity. Whatever best suits them is going to serve their need. That's what they do. They have no allegiance to anybody.
And so they were rightfully, well, they will have allegiance to you if they think they're getting something out of it. They're more like mercenaries rather than full-out enemies. You have to keep an eye on them. But the thing is that Jaina was right. Maybe she took it too far, but then she tried to condemn all of the Horde based on the fact that she didn't know. Did she have any idea that all of the leaders, like all of the
No.
leaders of the different
No,
factions,
she
He
only
had
knew
no
about
idea
Bane.
that they were all turning on
plotting?
him. Yeah.
Right. She only knew about Bane, but she didn't know that Sylvanas and I forget Gidwigs, is that what his name? The Goblin
Gallywix.
guy.
Gallywix.
Gallywix, and Bane and God damn it, what's the one that became the eventual
The elf.
Vol'jin. You talk about
Vol'jin.
Vol'jin.
Is trolled. And,
Yes. And Thrall were all, in this, plotting, but you can't just overthrow a leader like that because he's got people loyal to him, so it has to be done in a way.
Well,
Yes,
the orcs are still under Garrosh, because that's who he supported. Garrosh was all about
Right.
the orcs. He was
After,
he was the Hitler of WoW.
Yeah, wait. But he was super supportive of the Tauren people because he didn't like how Makarok went down when the stupid Tauren bitch poisoned the blade that killed Kirin Bloodhoof.
That's the problem. That's how it started, though. He was at the beginning, but Garrosh began to change, and he got worse and worse and worse as it went on.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Garrosh is the epitome of power corrupts. That's basically that story.
It is. I agree with that. My thing is with Varian. If you want to get mad at Varian or get mad at Jaina saying she didn't run and tell him, I wouldn't have told him either because he can kiss my ass. Every time she needed something, he would be like, oh, well, we should talk about this. What happened to the Varian Rin from back in the day? It would be like, I'm going to go fuck them up because I'm Varian Rin. Where is he?
I don't care about learning. He saw that it was wrong. He learned.
It doesn't matter. There's still a point in time where you have to go slaughter somebody. They fucking came in and killed all his top generals and wiped out Theramore with a mana bomb. That is like the ultimate act. That's a nuke. Basically dropping a nuke on one of your major cities. And he's just like, well, we'll get to him. We'll get to him. He didn't even really want to go to fucking Mr. Pandaria until Anduin was gone. Right? Am I wrong about that?
No, you're right.
Varian has become very, very passive. He is not what he was, what a true leader should be in my eyes. I totally agree with Jaina, and I'm telling you, when I was reading the book, I hope she wiped out Orgrimmar.
See, I don't know, because
there's a difference between being passive and being decisive. Yes, I think that maybe Varian was reticent and maybe too much so but it all goes back to what I was saying, is that the Horde and the Alliance have these third parties that they share, that they commingle and they exist, but they don't really talk. And I'm going to equate this to another thing. It's the U.S. and Iran right now. A lot of people are like, all right, so we don't like this deal with Iran, right? And they can give no other reason other than Iran has always cheated. That's that Iran is our enemy. Do you know how to make an enemy not an enemy? There's two ways. Either by submission, by going to war and completely dominating them, which you're not going to do to Iran because we don't have the stomach for that. Or two, actually talking to them and eventually opening up dialogue. Like the reason that we're actually opening up an embassy in Cuba. We should open up an embassy in Iran eventually. It's just that's how you make enemies not enemies. What was the whole? They don't learn history. What was the whole reason behind the Cold War? Because the U.S. and Russia didn't trust each other and they didn't talk. Yeah, that was the whole reason. And this is the history of the Horde and the Alliance. If you think about it, they go like this towards each other. They don't talk at each other. They don't talk to each other, so they don't trust each other because they don't know each other.
Okay, so let me pose a question to you both then. Varian Rin, Jaina said, hey, we need to end the Horde at the end of the Mist of Pandaria during the Siege of Orgrimmar. And so Varian called his troops up and went up there, and he looked like he was going to do something, and then he did nothing. Before that, he stopped Thrall from killing Garrosh. Would we be in a better stance in terms of trust with the Horde and the Alliance if Varian had backed off and let Thrall do his job and kill him and end it right there?
Well, I mean, I understand why Varian didn't. You gotta remember that it was that Garrosh had done stuff to everyone, so it wasn't as much as we believe that it was Thrall's. It was his right to do it because Thrall felt it was his fault that all of this gone down anyway because he's the one who put Garrosh in his place. So look at it. But again, Garrosh had done stuff to everyone. So it wasn't just Thrall's place.
So then have a public execution for him, which is what they were going to do.
Which is what they were going to do.
But that's the problem. They put him on trial because they wanted to do it the Pandaren way instead of just letting Thrall, who had the right to outright kill him right there. It was Thrall's mistake. Yeah. It was Thrall's choice. It should have been ended. But my point is would we have more trust if it was just ended right there?
They all had claim to it. No, I don't think so. It would have... I mean, maybe, but I don't really think it would have changed anything because Jaina had already made up her mind, and she wasn't going to change regardless of who was the leader of the Horde. Varian wasn't going to change because he's shown that he's reticent to do anything, and Thrall wasn't going to be the leader again. So it was Vol'jin, and they really don't know Vol'jin. Vol'jin's another old friend of Thrall. So how are they going to know what the Horde are going to do? I mean, yeah, he's said good things there, but that's the first initial thing. I think that what they were going to do, the putting on trial and letting all of them deal with it together, would have been the best thing had it not been for the worst aspect or the worst Dragonflight. Ugh. But
I like Sylvanas' solution personally.
But Sylvanas is a bitch.
Yeah,
she's a bitch. I don't trust anything that bitch says. Okay, she can, whatever. Anyway,
she's 100% out for herself. She doesn't give a fuck about anybody else.
So what? I think they did the right thing. I think that if they have to deal with their problems together, that's how you become closer allies, or you become allies, or you stop becoming enemies, is dealing with things together, because that forces you to have to interact.
See, I agree. See, I know. As much as you've been very hating on Varian, this their turn.
Varian became a leader. That's how he was trying to lead. He saw the alliance as it was, which was constantly fighting the Horde and not doing much of anything. They weren't getting anywhere because the Horde were there. So you can't... The time has passed where the Alliance could wipe the Horde back into the portal, into the Outlands. It's not going to happen. They have an established foothold. So at that point, you have to deal with them. Yes, you may have to extract vengeance where necessary, but it wasn't the whole Horde. It really wasn't. It was their crazy leader and a little faction.
We've become a political debate show for Azeroth politics. We really have. Like, it's really amazing how lore can turn into it. It's great.
What this is.
Well, I mean, okay, so I used to not like Varian. I used to hate Varian.
I've never hated him.
So this Wraith brought up something. I read Wolfheart. Wolfheart changed my whole opinion on Varian completely.
Why? Because of Greymane, and how he was so soft-hearted towards him. I don't have an issue with the Greymanes or the wolves.
I mean, no, it's that Varian became to change. He came to terms with part of his problem, which is what he's seeing Jaina going through right now. Is he was blinded by anger that he held for years and years and years through just shit.
Well, and I understand that. I agree. I agree on that point, but I don't agree that Jaina is blinded by anger. I think Jaina's on the right path, and it's time to just fucking be done with this war.
No, she's very blinded by anger.
No, because at the end of the book, where he escapes,
be done with this war.
Call an actual Calicos stops her, and she's calm, and she's cool, and she's collected, and she's ready to move on. She's got control.
But it's through Caligos that she's
because she's in love with him.
Yes, they're in a romantic relationship, but she states it more.
This is her repeating storyline is she gets infatuated with someone because wasn't she in love with Thrall at one point?
Well, at first it was Arthas.
Okay.
Then it was Thrall.
Okay, Arthas was okay. Let's back up a second and talk about this. Okay.
She loves herself some powerful men. I must say.
Okay.
But she always seems to be the jilted lady.
Well, she is the jilted lady. Well, no, not really. Okay, let's put this straight. Okay, so it was Kalthus, yeah, that was in love with her. Am I saying that right? His name right? But anyway, he was in love with her, and she was in love with Arthas. So he was kind of the jilted lover in that situation.
You talking about High Elf Kael'thas?
Yeah, Kalthus. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I said it wrong. Yeah, he was in love with her, but she was in love with Arthas. And there was a lot of big angriness going on in that situation.
And that turned out to go real well for her.
You can't blame her for Arthas. And B, you are so gone right now. Should I just let it go, Zach? Oh, Zach's gone too. Hello. And that's why I said this is the chef net.
Yep. I'm broke.
I got one back. Zach.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I couldn't hear you guys for like a good 20 seconds.
My mic had a conniption fit. Okay. Okay. Anyway.
Why can't I hear anyone? Hi. Chat, can you still hear me?
Hello?
I got...
Yes.
There we go. What keeps cutting us out? Like, I don't understand why.
No.
It's Jaina. It's Jaina. Jaina's fucking with us now.
Like,
you guys should love Jaina.
This time?
It's the Mike Shaft show.
Oh my god.
All right, so let's...
Anyway. Let me finish. Okay, so that happened. Then she fell in love with Arthas, and then Arthas. Then that was a jilted situation. Arthas.
So she knows how to pick them.
Yeah.
She picks them real well.
They all go.
Thrall was the only one that didn't.
That was more community based than it was game based.
Yeah.
They were friends. Then the community went, oh, yeah. They're in love.
I mean, well, but see, here's the problem with that. There is a point where Jaina goes to Thrall and Agra's wedding, and she cries. Now, is she crying because she's happy for Thrall, or is she crying because she's upset that she never got Thrall?
Yes.
We don't know. That could go anyway. We don't know. I mean, they were close. Yeah. They were close.
They were close.
So maybe she did have a place for him in her heart.
Well, I mean, and she told everybody she built Theramore where it was because she wanted to be next to Thrall to try to keep the peace. That was her original plan and why it was there. And B's gone. Which means Zach is gone. Stop picking on Jaina because she's going to silence you every time.
I'm so done with this shit.
Stop talking about Jaina. Just fucking stop. Oh my god. I think every time we cut out, it's just a wonderful show.
This is shit.
This is great. This is just his fault.
All right. I'm going to go ahead. We're just going to go ahead and skip. Guys, we'll go more in depth. We've gone quite a ways today already. So we'll talk a little more about Jaina next week. We'll start from the beginning, hit her stuff up that B wants to talk about. We'll also talk more about the Kirin Tor and the impending ending that is coming between... I hope you guys can hear this. Chat room, can you hear me? That's all that's important. Oh, fuck. Hold on. I'm hanging up on you two now. I can't even get him back on. Oh. Oh, chat room. We're going to go ahead and watch Jake's question. And hopefully I can get them back. So, without further ado, our weekly question from Jakeinator. Hi guys, welcome back.
Man.
Hello, kindled folks. This is I, Jaina, and I have a question to you guys about the Kirin Tor, or more specifically Valorant. It will be returning in Legion in an HD remake.
Middle name.
What part of the
Commercial?
city would you like to
Ow!
Yeah, I don't.
return?
What?
And what new
I
ideas
hurt when
can
he,
you think
when
of?
he popped.
I don't know why the sound isn't. I don't understand.
The sound's fine now. I think it was something with Skype.
You stole my
Apparently a background
soul!
noise.
Give it back!
There we go.
Get your sorry ass over here!
What was Jake's question? Yeah, they're talking over the video. You might want to, like, play the video over. They're talking over the video. You might want to, like...
Time to get my soul back. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Cubes2 right here so you can see these videos before they air. Is I. Hello, kindled folks. This is I, Jaina, and I have a question to you guys about the Kirin Tor, or more specifically Valorant. It will be returning in Legion in an HD remake. What part of the city would you like to see return? And what new ideas can you think of? Wait a minute.
All right, guys. So we're back. I did replay the question so you all could hear it one more time. And Jake, I have to say, I love how you chased that soul-sucking demon around Dalaran and got your soul back. That you're not a ginger anymore. So congratulations. We don't have to slap a ginger. I'm happy for you, buddy. So Jake wants to know what part of Dalaran. Yeah, I don't know that. I'm just going with it at this point.
I'm like, you don't have a camera. Like, we don't see the camera.
Anyways,
what...
what do you mean?
Like, we don't see your camera.
I'm here.
Yeah, but I see him on the stream.
I can't. Okay.
This is
This is
great. This is great. We're doing a bang up job here, guys.
wee.
Oh, Shaftnip and Jaina, please stop attacking us. B, don't ever say anything bad about Jaina again.
I didn't even say anything bad about her.
Well, a couple weeks ago you called her a whore, so that started it.
Whoa!
You did call her a whore.
Did do that. And
Okay.
then I took it back. Told her like really was whatever.
So, like I said, guys, we're going to go through Jake's question, and then next week we'll talk more about Jaina. We'll talk more about the Kirin Tor and Dalaran. So, Jake wants to know what we're excited to see come back in the HD remake of Dalaran. What are you most looking forward to? I'm just going to go ahead and say it before anybody else does. I am super excited for the Dalaran sewers and them being the class hall for rogues.
Oh,
That is going to be
Dal's
the
not here.
greatest thing we get to see, guys. I'm super, super stoked for the class hall for rogues. Sewers all the way.
People play Rogue still.
Not when the expansion comes out, all the rogues are going to become demon hunters.
Yep.
Right?
Zach, what are you looking forward to? What do you think?
I don't know. Dalaran was fun, I guess. I don't know. What do I want the most? I want the fishing pond. Let's say the fishing pond.
Ooh, do you think we'll be able to fish up that coin again? For those people who
I don't
don't
know.
have it in the new Dalaran?
Points.
Do I still
Yeah.
have it? I don't even know if I
I've
still
got
have
my
it,
coin
but
still.
Yeah, I think I have my titanium seal.
Okay, mine.
I don't know, probably. I mean, okay, so how is that all gonna work? Is there gonna be Dalaran
Yes.
in Northrend and in was
They're-
it the
yeah.
Lost Isles?
They're leaving Northrend around alone. You'll still see Dalaran. Will still be in Northrend.
So this is sort of like a Schrodinger's cat Dalaran. It's like it could be there, it could not be there, it could be in both places. What the fuck is this? Is this like some
Declo?
Well-
this is some Heisenberg uncertainty bullshit?
Have they confirmed that, B? Because remember,
Yeah.
when they moved Dalaran to Lich King, they
I
ripped
know,
it out.
they
But
picked it up and moved it, and
that's because it wasn't. Yeah, they weren't using it. It was
yeah,
not.
it wasn't really the Dalaran. It was a big purple bubble.
Okay, so
I was gonna
everybody
say-
playing Wrath of the Lich King gets pretend Dalaran, and we get real Dalaran.
Pretend Dalaran.
No, it is Dalaran. It's just Dalaran from earlier.
Yeah,
apparently.
it's a different timeline. No, I don't know.
Oh,
No, but
God,
they-
don't start with the timeline thing. Don't, no.
Yeah, but yeah, they did say that Dalaran was still going to be in Northrend. They said it was not going to. It wasn't going to just pick up and move. It wasn't going to be a Naxxramas thing where it's like.
I wish that would happen. I would rather have it just move and, they shift some focus off it's a major city, so let's see it move. Let's see it changes the tide of the game, which is good.
Then if you're leveling. I mean, they had to do. I mean, like, look at the. Look what they had to do with different timeline when they came to Draenor because they couldn't change. They didn't want to change Draenor because it would mess up everything that happened in Burning Crusade. You know, everyone hates leveling through Burning Crusade, but it's the thing that it's got to be there so that when you're leveling 70 to 80, they're not going, whoa, where's Dalaran?
Well, I have to say we're definitely doing something right because all the technical gods
kind
are
of-
just hating us.
It's the version for me though.
It does. I don't. I agree that I think it'd be awesome if it just picked up and moved. The whole thing just. It's weird to have two of them. But I mean, I would probably do the same shit I did. Am I lagging? Am I doing some weird shit?
Lagging is not even the word for it. I don't even know what the fuck you call this. All right, guys. Well, I'm just going to go
Me?
ahead.
Is it me?
We are going to end the show here. Like I said, next week we will pick up with Jaina. We'll catch up on her. We will talk about Dalaran and the Kirin Tor and Khadgar doing something to get control of the Kirin Tor and Jaina being gone. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys had a good time with us today. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by. You guys are always amazing and we appreciate it. If you're new, please hit that little heart down below and follow us so you know when we go live every week. Also, Zach, where can they find you?
On the internet at this place. This place. And just generally, I don't know, being great on the internet, just owning it as usual,
And
killing
saving
it.
hunters' asses every week.
Oh my god, yeah, getting misdirected by them, like
When did I?
douchebags.
I have never.
all of
I
the
have
lady
never.
all of the lady hunters in our goddamn raid love to misdirect me
I have
because
not.
they think it's so funny. Yeah, let's misdirect a healer. That's so funny.
I've never misdirected you. Phaedrus, on the other hand, has gotten my misdirect.
Misdirect.
I was misdirect.
All right, guys. And B, where can they find you?
Apparently, I should HUFFITY and apparently I hate Jaina and Jaina hates me. So, whatever.
Guys, this was a great show. I had fun, even though we had some Mike Shaftnet difficulties this week. Jaina, please don't be mad at us. We love you. Well, I do. B doesn't give a shit about you, but
I never said that. Oh my god.
I hope you guys had a good time with us. We will talk more politics and Azeroth next week. As always, you can find me at Terinn23 on Twitters. You can find me on Twitch at Terinn23. And if you want to watch some Destiny, come to my stream and hang out sometime. Again, follow below. We appreciate everybody. This will be ported over onto YouTube with all its glorious technical difficulties. And you guys are amazing. I will talk to you later.
Meh.
Hi, dear potato.